Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Craig here again with the first of the unboxings for today. As you can see, it's the new Takom Jagdpanzer 38T, full interior, the late version. So that's my YouTube money gone for the month. But I do like a little, well, it's not called a headset. Never called a headset. I have a good reliable source that it was never called a headset, even by the Germans. So I don't know where it's come from, but it looks a nice little kit. Nice. There's three versions. You've got the late, the mid, and this one. I'm telling the early, but the artwork on this one drew me to this one, so that's what I got. Usual fare on the front, but it's a nice Jason again. He makes some cracking pictures. This guy does. He really does. And the kit number for this is number 2172. You see that? On the side we have a few of the variants that you can build from it. We have Abteilung 272, Volksgrenadier Division Germany 1945, Panzerjäger Company 1170-9257, Volksgrenadier Division Belgium December 1944, and we have East Prussia 1945, and Beloves, and I can't even pronounce that, Czechoslovakia May 1945. We just have the normal sign on the edges, and then we have the sprue layout on the on that side, and it just comes with a metal barrel. So let's have a look what we've got. Nice compact little box. Obviously it's only a small vehicle, but with something different for a to do as an interior kit instead of doing one of the larger ones like Panther, Tiger, all that kind of stuff. Quite nice that we did this. I've had a quick rummage through the box, but as you can see it's it's full. Let's have a look what we've got in here first. Some people take the bags off before they do these, because, you know, part of the excitement for me is the first clear view of it. Right, so it looks like we have some of the interior detail on here. Looks like a transmission and some other bits and bobs. Again, all nicely done. Yeah, Takom 2023, kit number 2170. So it is a brand spanking new kit, and the detail is really nice on it, as you can see there on that side as well. And we have no ugly pin marks. I'm going to be very careful with the fin parts on it, as you normally would be. Looks like we have here for the back for some of the shells to go in. Bit of slide moulding gone on there as well, which is always nice to see. So it's really nice. Nice start. Nice start to that ballot. I've got the cat on my knee still from before. We have on these ones, it gives you the option, gives you a clear top as well. So I won't take it out of the bag, but it's a whole clear top on it. The whole of it. Engine deck included, I think. No, not quite the engine deck, but the actual casemate and everything is in there. So I want it all fastened in really tightly. But yeah, it is the clear. Let me just see if I can just slice a bit off here, and let me just see if I can pull it out. Yeah, it's all clear, and I don't want to get it out and scratch it, but it's the casemate in there clear. So it's good that you can see what you've actually done on the inside. Obviously gives you the option again of not putting it on. I'm just putting the normal one. So this is exact copy of what I've just said. This is the plastic version. Well, the normal version, I should say. Yeah, so that's what we have in the clear plastic as well. So we have all that, which is nice as well. Nice detail, little weld seams nice on there as well. And we have base. It's not a bathtub. We've put sides on again, and we have some of the interior. It looks like the firewalls and things like that. Again, it looks nice. Nice detail. No injection marks. I presume these injection marks in there will be covered by whatever goes in there. hopefully been clever enough to do that. I would have thought so. Again, with same with the injection marks on here, but there's sunken these ones, so you can actually just put a bit of filler in there and sand it. But hopefully a lot of these won't be seen anyhow, but hopefully some will be covered up by the interior stuff. Again, we have more interior stuff. Cat's away now. Had enough. We have a plastic barrel, and we have interior stuff again. Don't know what they are, but I'm sure we'll find out as the build progresses. A bit of slide mould again for the plastic barrel, which looks nice as well. But I think the metal one has got rifling, if I'm not mistaken. Again, detail is nice. Nothing wrong with the detail. Yep. I'm going to say they're all new. I think it's their first headsets they've had released, Takom. So one would presume every sprue will be new. Again, all nicely done. Really nice. The wheels. I do like the 38T wheels. See if I can get into it. Here we go. Which side? Two sprues of this, so I won't them both out. Oh, really nice. Nice detail. Really nice detail. And on the back as well. So with the reverse. The detail on that. And then we have the outer. Again, nice detail on that. Really nice. Nicely done. Look nice. It will look nice. Fasten that one back up, that one. And then we have again more interior stuff. Don't know what it is, but we'll still have a look through what the condition of the parts are and if there's any breakages, anything like that. Which there shouldn't be, because where I usually get all most of my kits from are very reliable, and it's always well packed. Always well packed. I've got some very small parts on here. With the MG34 there, which is quite nice. Again, all this is fine stuff, part of the Enotech light, and some little bits and pieces, all very fine and small in here, if you can see those. Oh, by the way, if you can see any difference with the lighting, I've got two new lights, just to see if any different. I've sacked a couple off. I'm giving them to my friend. One of my friends is going to have the other lights, which is nothing wrong with them, just that I didn't have the space for them any longer. So, but yeah, that's another nice little sprue. And we have another sprue here with two sprues here, one with the sprocket. Yeah, I forgot that then. Looks like we've got shells as well. Quite a few there. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So we have 32 shells. Paint, that'll be good. Again, a bit of a suspension. Nice detail on the sprocket. Some more fine parts. Again, we have slide moulding going on for the cable, for the tow cable eyes. And I presume this is part of a suspension as well. All nicely done. See all the shells, and then we have part of the leaf spring suspension. That must be, I'm not too sure what that part is. Must be part of us for the sprocket to sit on, I presume. And then we have part of a suspension out in there, which is slide moulded, which is nice to see. And then we have the sprocket, which again is nicely detailed on the back as well, which is nice to see. and some more interior parts for the shelves going to, and some very, very fine parts as well, which we'll have to be careful when we take them off a sprue. It's like most kits nowadays, they have delicate parts, don't they? Because they're getting that, some of the details now is really exquisite on the 135 scale. And starting to do obviously more slide moulding and different kind of techniques in how the pieces are produced. They can get quite fine now with plastic, which is nice to see. This is Sprue U, which come apart in, oh no, it's 2 sprues. We have the mantlet and the cover and the gun cover, so mantlet on there as well. It's a bit of spare track. We have the exhaust there, part of the engine deck, otherwise small pieces again. Got a nice bit of texture on there, but I can improve the texture on that. A bit of a spare track. I won't be using the tracks from the kit, I don't think. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have a look when we get to them. But I do have a set of metal ones with winter ketting, so they're probably used on this. And then part of the gun assembly, and must be for the engine deck at the rear, if I remember rightly. Again, all nice and neat, small parts, but all nicely produced and really nice detail. Obviously we can improve these things as we go on along, as you get more confident in yourself and whatever. A lot of small parts on this one as well, presuming most of this is interior stuff. Bit of slide moulding on, part of the engine I think this is, yeah, engine block, and then part of it on there as well. Small, that's the manifold, with my fingers on there. It's nice to see, but all part I think presumably is part of the exhaust, I'm not too sure. All these fine small parts on the bottom. Again, all delicate, all nicely done. Part of the engine there we have the flywheel, or whatever it's called, where my finger is. Again, some really small details again, which we'll have to be careful with taking them off a sprue. But nicely produced. And then we have obviously more interior. Obviously we will have, because it's an interior kit. I'm not too sure what the differences are between the early, mid and the late, but I presume there's obviously certain differences. Part of the gun mechanism as well, more internal stuff like the breech by the looks of it. Yeah, breech stuff, breech, a bit of slide moulding on this one as well. Again, all nicely done, all nicely produced, really nice. And there's a slide moulding again on there as well. Tracks, we have 2 lots, it's link and length tracks, we have 2 lots. Nice tracks, quite nicely done actually, nice produce, nice detail. There's a return of the idler wheel. Small tracks, as you can understand, with only being a small vehicle. There's a couple of pin marks in the centres, but there again you're not really going to see them with the tracks. The wheels going on top of it, but nice detail. But I do have a set of tracks in here. I'm sure I've got some with winter ketting as well. If not, I shall get some. I'm sure I have. So I'll have to check my little book. Yeah, nice day. Just a shame about the pin marks, but again you're not going to really see them once it's sunken in, so you can actually fill them if you want. It's just a shame that they're all on the individual ones as well, but we can sort that if it comes to it. This takes a bit longer to do, but we're in no hurry. Right, we have 2 more sprues. Again, this is more interior like radios and things like that. I can get into it. Come on, where are we at? There we are. Place the resealable bags, which I do like. There's only problem with Tamiya and their staples. Nice resealable bags work a lot better. We get more slide moulding again. Ooh, yeah, lots of radios in here as well. Chairs, I presume that looks like a chair. I'm not too sure. Again, all these are really small, but they're really nice detail on them as well. Again, we have that. You see, all really nicely done. The detail is nice. Yeah, really nice. With the radios there, you can see the details on the radios. That should come up nice. And the final sprue is mainly the rest of the exterior and the rest of the lower hull. It needs to be made up. Let's go and get this out of here. Yeah, that's for the bottom obviously, because you've got all the conduits and things like that to be added. Again, pin marks, hopefully they'll be hidden by whatever, if not they'll have to be filled. And we have a internal side from the gun. We have vision thing there, mud guards, side fenders. Again, obviously there's lots of detail to add to these. We have the internal side as well for the lower hull, and then again we have an internal detail again for the inside near the gun breech. Well, obviously lots of things going to be added onto that. Been an interior, and then we have a lot of glass parts, or glass clear parts. We have again, we have a clear interior part as well for the one I've just showed you. You can get these ones out, but they're not resealable. Doing these. Oh, Lucas is awake. I think later on, if it's when he's come round, we'll do the last one. I'll show you how big he's getting now. He's just turned one a couple of weeks ago. But he's such a good little boy. He really is. Loves his granddad. So you've got the clear parts like I just showed you with the interior detail for the gun as well. We've got that so you can really see through it and see what all the work you've done, which is really nice. I do like that idea, especially with it being an interior. If it wasn't an interior kit, I can understand you wouldn't need to, but with being an interior kit, you do. Same with the engine deck at the back, it's clear. So the whole top is clear, so you can see right down into the workings of the tank and the engine and everything like that. And the gun breech. And then we have little periscopes in there as well, so that's really nice. I do like that. I will be using those, I think. And then finally we have the destructions and decals and a metal bar and a bit of PE. We'll get the decal out and a bit of brass wire for the what's I right about the rifling? No, it's not rifling on these. Is maybe what you could do being slightly, could draw that out maybe a little bit more or paint it in there to see. But it's not it's just a nice little barrel. You know, it's nice to get in a kit, metal barrel. Nowadays it's really nice. And then the small sheet of decals, there we have obviously for the exterior, and looks like parts for the interior for the radios. I presume those things from there, the square ones or rectangular ones, sorry. From there, and then we have a small piece fret, which we've got the grill for the back of the engine deck, and some other bits and pieces for the internal sub-weapon, presume. And a bit of brass wire for the tow cable. I'll put those to the side, and then we have the instructions. Again, where are we at? we have a correction sheet, or it's been missed, so we'll come to that in a minute. So we have a picture of the Jagdpanzer, full interior layer production. Got a bit of history on there as well, which is nice to see. Typical Takom. Only problem with some of the smaller kits like this is sometimes the instruction sheet's a bit too small, but we'll see as we're getting along. Obviously we've got the layout for the sprues, and then we're starting off with the transmission. Fairly straightforward, not over complicated, nicely broken down, and then that sits into the lower hull, and then we're adding bits and pieces onto it. That's one of these ones where you paint a bit, leave to dry, add it, paint a bit, leave to dry, and then we start with the shelves and the seats and more shelves to add, and then we have starting the engine block again, which is nicely detailed. That's going to be nicely done. And when we get to 22, we'll have a look, see what our page is there, unless they've missed it off on the actual sheet itself. And then we're putting the engine in, and part of the I don't know what the other parts are, and then more shelves laid into racks, and they're pinned along the side of the lower hull wall. And it's a B16, it's giving you a breakdown, a more in-depth view of where B16 goes. And again with G9, a little breakdown again of where they go for the build up for the final drive, which I thought that way was for, which I was right. So we're carrying on the other side now. Got the other side with the final drive, and then we have, I presume that's a fuel tank, and then we're starting to put the sides on when I've got them all built out. Yeah, I can understand the thinking. I'll see as we're going along anyhow, if it needs to be painted. Could I put it together and then add the stuff? We'll see. We'll see. And then we start with the radios, part of the final drive again, on the interior side of it. More interior stuff. But it's all nicely laid out as well, must I admit. It's not overly complicated, which is nice to see. And then we're putting the firewall in between the engine and the fighting compartment, and then we have telling you to drill holes on parts, and then again more interior stuff. And then it's saying about adding the wheels. I don't think I'll add them at that point, but they're fairly straightforward, the wheels. There's only 4 each side, 6 altogether including the sprocket and the idler wheel. Very straightforward. And then we've got the length and length tracks, which is, straightforward again. But I'm sure if it was a winter one, they'll have winter ketting on some. We'll have to have a look into that. I know I think I've got some Panzer 3-4 with winter ketting. I'll have to see if I'm sure I've got some Hetzer ones. I'll have to look in my boot. I'll have a look in a minute. And then again, all building the outside on the mud guards and fenders, adding the stuff to the fenders. Right, so we've got 22, must be a correction because we've got it twice in here. We'll have to look at that at a later point. 22, 23 and 25. So we'll have to check that. We'll have to check that. Why it's in there. Come on then, cat, if you come on back. Sit down. And then again, we're on with the exterior now. Yeah. Again, gun breech, everything else. Come on, cat, sit on my knee. Come on, sit on my knee. And then we're finishing off again. We got the engine, sorry, the breech on to be added, and then we can put the top onto the bottom, and then we're starting to add the fenders and things like that. Again, all nice. And all nicely broken down. There's nothing overly complicated, and so we're putting the barrel on with the thing, and then we have colour guides as well, which is nice. Come on, Bella, off here, come on. Come on, sit on my knee. Sit on my knee. Good girl. Come on my knee. And it's giving you sort of some colour guides as well, what the interior colours should look like. I don't know how accurate they are, but we shall see. And then we have a gun breech and a bit of the engine. And then it's giving you, again, this is nice, you've got all this colours again, apart from the decals, I'm sure they're decals for the radio, and the shell rack, interior again, that'll be the light, with the machine gun on the side, and then we have the couple of things, what the layer production, which I showed you before. Sorry, the winter one. Is it winter? January 45, yeah, and all the rest are March 45, Belgium 44, and Czechoslovakia 1945. So we have got, you know, at least you've got a good selection of choices whichever you want to do. So in general speaking, it's a nice little kit, not overly complicated. Come on, pal. Not overly complicated. Looks like it's going to be a nice build. What was that? Just my knife. Yeah, so it's quite a nice little kit. Not overly expensive either for an interior kit, a new one. Yeah, so I'll do another review at some point with one of my Holy Grail kits. Hopefully sometime today, because I say my daughter's coming to take me out for some lunch, which is nice of her. And then I'll come back and we'll do the other one. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very, very soon again with the another unboxing. Oh, by the way, thank you again for sticking with me with lack of videos and whatever. But things will sort of fall into place again. Now we're going into a routine with looking after Lucas and things like that. So I do enjoy the weekends, which is obviously my daughter doesn't work at the weekends and it's a boyfriend, so I don't have to have him, even though he wants to come and see his granddad most of the time. Right, so this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you again with, say, one of my Holy Grail kits. So we'll see you soon. Goodbye.